Figure it out. Figure it out. You need to figure it out.
Figure it out, man.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. All right? Figure it out. Just figure it out.
The love of God, figure it out.
And welcome to the FIO podcast. I am your host, Mason Kleiss, and if you don't know what FIO stands for by now, you need to figure it out. We got a great show for you today. We got a legendary show, episode 3, plenty of shit to go off of, a lot of shit going on in the world. I got my best friend Trey joining us in the booth. What up, Trey?
What up, Council?
What up, Council?
Outfitting number 31, dude. I'm honored that you timed that just for me.
The third one? Yeah. Third time's the charm, right?
Third time's the charm, dude.
Yeah, after my cousin Mitch roasted me, I had to, step up my game a little bit. Shout out to you, Mitch. What up? Saying I need to stop saying like so much. I'll say whatever the hell I want, Mitch. Figure it out. This is my podcast. I can do what I want. But it's okay. I'm trying to get better. I'm figuring it out as I go along.
How's that Shiner taste?
I'm about to take my first sip. You cannot do an FIO podcast without drinking. That is how we do it. So I'm glad that you reminded me to grab my Shiner. I'm not sponsored by Shiner yet, but Shinerbach, let me know. I wish I didn't crack it open already. I would have had, but let's just, you know what it sounds like.
Nice sound effect. Pop.
Yeah, that sounds like bones cracking. Yeah, you can just open another one for us. It won't sound as good. You don't have as nice of a microphone.
That one?
What flavor are you drinking?
Just the normal.
Yeah.
I got the Christmas cheer one, though. It's in my fridge.
You'll have to tell me how that one tastes. I don't know how good that one tastes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I got it kind of on a whim. The cashier at the HEB was talking it up. He's like, "Yo, I love Shiner. You ever had one?" The guy's probably late teens. And he's like, "No, I'm not old enough." I'm like, "So have you had one?" Like, what does that mean? And he played bluff, but I think he's a big Shiner fan.
Yeah, I'm becoming a big Shiner fan, big Tecate fan. I've said it a million times on this podcast. It's the Mexican Bud Light, and I'm all for it. I had about 4 of those last night. Went to a comedy show last night, so that was pretty fun. It was good. It was a little strange. It was the first time I got roasted by the comic. Like,
what were you doing to poke him out?
Well, the guy was a huge
kind of random.
The guy was a huge douche, first off, and he was stoned out of his mind. Like, and half of his jokes were about like knowing other people are high in situations, and it's like, dude, we all know you're high, so like. And he just kept telling all these stories. He goes, "You know how you see those guys? Like, I went through a drive-thru and they had those squinty eyes. Like, yeah, you just know that guy's high." It's like, dude, that's what you look like right now. Like, what do you mean?
Maybe that's his thing.
I guess. Yeah, half his jokes were weed jokes. I thought the opener was way funnier, in my opinion. His name was...
What led him to pointing out you?
His name was Slade Ham, by the way. You need to figure it out, Slade Ham. Slade. Huge douche name. Shout out to any of the Slades out there listening. Thank you, Slades. Slade. I will not be...
That sounds like a villain in a kid's show. Like this.
I should have told him that. No, he took a shot of Jameson, and all over the place in this comedy bar, or whatever the hell you want to call it, they had just Jagerbomb like advertisement saying try our Jagerbomb. So it was the last thing that I had a few beers in me, a little liquid courage, and so I was like, do a Jagerbomb, and he just goes, "Chill out, man. I don't want to join your frat." And I'm like,
that's where that came from?
That was the burn. And I was just like, okay. And like, all my coworkers laughed, and he's like,
you kind of have to, is the thing.
Yeah, but it's like, it does sound like a douchey thing, like, you do a Jagerbomb, but I didn't like say it like that. It's just like, and maybe I was an idiot because maybe I thought Jameson was in a Jagerbomb, but it's not. It's Jägermeister, obviously. I'm an idiot. I had to figure it out that night, but I don't know. It just was weird. And then, but like the whole rest of the night, his whole rest of the act, he kept just coming back to me.
Yeah,
and,
dude, that's how they set you up.
Yeah, and he just kept referring to me as Jagerbombs. So he just was like, yeah, Jagerbomb gets it or something, you know, like it's just funny, you know. It's all right. It's just a little weird. I talked to him after the show. I was like, "We doing Jagerbombs?" And he's just like, "Thanks for being a good sport, man." So I mean, I'm not too pissed at him. It's whatever.
Now that's like from a couple of my buddies. They seriously like the idea of going into stand up, and that's like what they teach you. Stand up 101 is that if you can heckle or handle hecklers, then that's like the easiest joke to do. So I think that's a testament to him picking you out, and probably one of his first times doing that joke or being up on stage. Did he say anything about that?
I mean, no, it was apparently he's a big name in the industry. He's toured all over the states and whatnot.
Slade?
As Slade Ham, yeah, Google him. I guess he's worth a Google.
Coming to Austin.
He was just in Houston, I guess. I don't know. There was a guy before him though that was way funnier. He was way more relatable, a little bit younger. It was funny. He was a black guy, and he kept making these jokes. Or he made one of them that was like, yeah, I like white women, but they don't like me. And he's like, it's not because I'm like bad looking or anything. It's because I'm short. He's like, nobody gets like happy about taking home hey, I got a short black guy, you know. He goes, typically they like him a little taller, a little bigger, a little particularly athletic. That's just not me. So I like comedians that make fun of themselves. That's my thing.
Yeah.
That's hard to do, you know.
Well, and just to like own it.
Exactly.
Puts everyone else at ease. I'm looking at Slade here. He looks like a tool.
Dude, he's just a pothead, man. I don't know. But it's weird, like, and I was talking to you about this yesterday, and like, of course, like one of my coworkers said I was the epitome of a frat boy, and it's just like, and it just hit me. It's like, or maybe I wasn't talking to you about this.
Where's that coming from? Just because you like to drink?
It's like everywhere I go, I get this like stereotype put on me that I'm just some frat guy, and like it's always in a negative fashion. You know what I mean? Like,
is there a positive fashion?
I don't think there's no way someone calls somebody a frat boy in a positive way. No, it's not. But it's just, I don't know. I'm not even a big drinker, so like that's why, you know.
Yeah. No, it's just like the typical athletic, likes to drink, and the jock thing. I feel
I'm
like
just
you get,
out like
pigeonholed now into people just calling it fraternity drink.
I know, it's just annoying. It's everywhere I go, bro. Everywhere I go, yeah. I just get pinned with that. Like, especially in undergrad, you know, that was like my first struggle. Nobody on my baseball team wanted to associate with me because I went to Knoxville to go see you every weekend instead of being cooped up in fucking Williamsburg. Who the hell wants to be there? Shout out Williamsburg, what up? But still, it's just, and I got labeled a douche for that. But then once people got to know me a little bit, they understood that that's not who I am.
I didn't know it was that bad, dude. I didn't know you were putting up with so much to be my friend.
I don't know. It's just always been like a pet peeve. It's just like a little thing that just irks me, you know? It's like, oh, like you're the epitome of a frat boy, or you're such a frat guy. It's like, I've always just wanted to like say, but why though? Like why? Like what is it about me that, because I don't wear short shorts and Sperry's every day.
There's a whole nother level of frat guy that I think of whenever someone
uses that stereotype. Like you're not the typical frat guy. I've always told you that. Like you'll go out and have your times, like that's fine. That because you were, I mean, fun fact, Trey was the president of his fraternity at Kappa Alpha at University of Tennessee, Knoxville. So that's so that means I basically was also the president, except I didn't have to do any of the bullshit that he had to do. So that was what was fun for me. I had all the perks of that. I got the good perks of that. Just I've gotten a lot of perks in life. Just like raising the dog with Robbie, it was always his dog. So if I didn't want to deal with it, I'd say, deal with your dog. It's your dog, but I got to take care of it like it was my own. So that was always fun.
Yeah, K was my dog that way. But I felt even now I'm very hesitant and reserved to bring it up at work with people that are older than me, unless I know or can pretty good guess that they were Greek or in that sort of, I don't know, just like social sphere. Because a lot of people just do exactly what they did to you, like, oh, you're a frat dude.
Yeah, they just automatically pin you as some douchebag, but it's like, I mean, frats do a lot of good charity work, as, I mean, I'm sure you know, and a lot of fundraising, but there is a lot of, you know, negativity with it as well, but I don't know. It's just everywhere I go. It's just always been my tag. Like your brother Walker is the epitome. He's the epitome of a frat boy. Like love him to death. Shout out Walker, but he wears the jorts. He's got the stash, or he had the stash. You know, the collared shirt, the Sperry's, and he rocks it. That's his thing. You know.
Well, it's an attention thing, and I get it. Some people like the more attention aspect of it, and it's an easy thing. And
yeah. And then, even sometimes it's worse. I'm the same way. Like you're hesitant to say that you were in a frat. Sometimes I'm hesitant to say I ever played college baseball or college sports in general.
Yeah.
Because unless it's a guy, if I tell like a dude coworker that, it's different. But if I tell like a girl coworker that or something like that, they automatically just pin you as a douche or like an asshole or something. Especially baseball, because baseball players have the asshole kind of stereotype put to them, but I don't know. Sure. It just I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way for sure. And now my nickname at work is Jagerbombs, so that's fun. Our head conditioning coordinator literally came up to me and was like, "That's your new nickname. Hope you know that." I was like, "All right, better than Stinky Boots." That's that was my nickname for like a week.
Well, the thing is that it's only negative if you like make it a negative thing. It's like,
if you let it.
Drinking so awful, Jagerbomb, like that's a funny story. Or frat guy, like even that could be construed to be something good, but people just love to like, I don't know, like we kind of already said, just put it as a sticker.
Yeah, I mean, I love the party. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I just always feel like especially
I feel like it always comes from people who didn't party and they don't even like know.
Not necessarily. Maybe people that didn't go to a big school is what I should say.
Sure.
Like, because nobody you can tell me at Tennessee, like girls aren't going to go up to you and be like, oh, such a frat boy, unless they were like not big into Greek life or something like that.
That's the only way that would get brought up.
Otherwise, it's a totally normal thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just how you like socialize and
I've just always gone to small schools. I'm at a small zoo now, just small town people. It's what I've always been. I mean, El Paso's huge, so don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. Thought I'd share that with you. Get your take on it, since you were actually in Greek life, get the little perspective on it. We don't always just talk about sports on here. I'm not a total piece of shit. I got a heart too, I got feelings, people. Figure it out.
You're working for animals, man. I don't know if there's anyone that's been more has an affinity for it. Like since I met you, in terms of having them in your house, but also just like loving to spread the word, spread the knowledge. I brought it up pretty recently. Forget the story or forget who I was talking to. Just. Yeah, I got bit by a snake when I was the assistant at your kids animal show.
That was so long ago.
Middle school, and that's my bite story.
That's why you hate snakes now.
Well, it was always kind of a scare, but that did it over.
Because I brought you to my last zoo I was at. And let you go behind the scenes, and you didn't want anything to do with any of the snakes there. And I was so embarrassed. I was like, dude. Come on, man. And you got bit by a rosy boa, bro. And if anyone out there knows what rosy boas, they do give a hell of a bite. I will say that. So
it latched on.
Yeah, they didn't want to let go. They're not one of those quick biters. They latch on. So kudos to you, Trey. But when you get bit by a 14-foot amethyst scrub python, come talk to me.
I won't be anywhere near that sort of situation.
Yeah, that's a story for another day, because we'll be here all day. But I want to get into you, though. So how's life been for you? So for people that don't know, he is my best friend of all time. We've known each other for I don't even know how many years. Freaking brother forever. Best man at the wedding. Future wedding best man. Hopefully I'm yours. We'll see. Not like your husband.
10 years?
10? Has it been a decade? Shit, I'm getting old. Doesn't matter how long.
I think it's over a decade, yeah.
That is a long time, but I know you're living in Austin now, and you're working for Dell.
Working for Dell, doing the corporate.
Living in that cubicle life, you know,
loving it too.
Living the dream.
Can't get enough cube. I might upgrade here soon and get a bigger cube.
Get like a rectangle, maybe. That'd be nice. Maybe
prism.
like an octagon, something weird. Some like 17-sided triangle. I don't know.
Yeah,
something
dude,
crazy.
It's all it's cracked up to be, but it's also as shitty as you imagine too. I mean, it's work. I don't feel like anyone ever has it, and maybe it's just the corporate thing speaking, but no one has it as terrific as they make it out to be. It's always what you make it there. No one is bad at work. It's just like, I mean, you're dealing with the HR, PC, people you don't want to be around.
PC principal.
And very much so. But
I mean,
also you're meeting a bunch of new people and learning things every day, and you're not out. I don't know. It's not a bad life.
I mean, I just want to thank you personally because whenever I have kind of a rough day at work, or if I'm like getting up,
it's so funny because it's exactly what I think about thanking you.
Oh no. Well,
you finish.
I wake up and sometimes I'm like, I don't want to go to work, or oh man, it's Monday, I don't want to go to work. And then I'm like, you know what? Trey lives that cubicle life, and he just pushes buttons all day. So, and I get to work with amazing animals every day. So, suck it, Trey. Thank you for working that job.
How bad it would be if I had his job. That's what gets me through.
That's what gets you. You're like, shit. He's picking up shit for a living. Dude, I never forget. I was doing a Meet the Keeper at my last place, and this kid. I'm really bad at like deflecting questions. I could never be a professional athlete. I'd answer every question. Like that's just my thing. And I'm bad at talking over people.
So when's the last time you got a boner?
3 minutes ago when you first called. Touch yourself.
I'm trying to put you in a deflecting situation.
Yeah, the hormone monster got in my ear a little bit.
Oh, you in the hole. Oh, touch yourself.
Shout out Hormone Monster. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. I was doing a Meet the Keeper, and I'm really bad at like talking over kids. Like they'll ask a billion questions, and I'm trying to talk about the animal, and I just can't. I can't talk over them. I can't tell them to shut up. Sometimes I just answer all the questions, and it just ends up me not talking. I'm just answering questions. But one kid out of all of them asked, "How much poop do you pick up a day?" or something like that. I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was probably like 12 or 13. And I was like, "I mean a lot, a good amount of poop." And he's like, "Okay, like what percentage of your job would you say is picking up poop?" I was like, "Oh, that's a very well thought out question." I was like, "I'd say 78%. Like I threw out a very high number because it's true. It is all I do.
Yeah, well, the animals, they're not going to clean themselves.
I wish they would. That'd be nice. I just met one of our Jaguars today. Oh my god, she's perfect. So perfect. It's just like...
What's she have to say?
Like... She was grumbling. That's kind of a good sign in the whole Jaguar business.
Yeah.
Unlike the Jacksonville Jags. Oh, if we get a... I almost said a puppy. If we get a cub, we should name it Gardner. Gardner Minshew. Or just Minshew.
Minshew's a good name.
Minshew would be dope for a Jag. Nobody would get it because everyone at the zoo doesn't know football, but besides like some of the guy coworkers I talk to, but that's about it. I work with mainly females, so it's a predominantly female dominant industry that I've seen and heard.
At El Paso or
no, in zookeeping in general. And I believe I believe it's just the income part of it. Like, they don't mind taking a pay cut or not making as much because their husbands, work hard, work at a cubicle,
Work with animals and do that.
Yeah, they do cubicles and they get to have fun. So hopefully my wife makes a lot of money. That's all I got to say.
You got to find the cube wife, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Or I can just marry you. That could work. We've talked about that.
Not in Texas, dude.
It's not legal in Texas?
I would highly doubt it.
Dude, it's legal everywhere these days. You should have heard my my neighbor. Shout out my neighbor. I can't remember his name. But
your current neighbor?
Yeah, my current neighbor. And he the way he tried to ask me if I smoke weed was like the funniest 30 seconds I've ever seen. I'm
trying to be subtle about it.
Yeah. I knew like the minute he started asking the question, he was talking about that, but I just let him go.
Yeah.
And for my entertainment only. And it was hilarious. He was just like, do you, partake in the, 420 kind of fun? You know what I'm talking about? He just kept going higher and higher at this point. And I was just like, do I smoke marijuana? Is that what you're trying to say?
that grass, green stuff?
Yeah, like CBD cannabis oil, man. Is that what you're referring to? But no.
Are you going to smoke with them?
I don't know. Probably not. Probably not for a little bit. I don't want to, in case supervisor wants to listen to this podcast. You never know. What up, supervisor?
Sure, and you got to get off the probation period.
Yeah, it's weird that they don't drug test here. It's only for like reasonable suspicion. Like if I come to work high, which I'd be an idiot to go to work high. I work with a lot of dangerous animals, so that'd be a real stupid idea to do.
Yeah, I'd say.
The dude works at like Panda Express, so I doubt he has to be too focused on anything.
Your neighbor?
Yeah, or it's like the neighbor's his girlfriend, and he's just over all the time. So the girlfriend works for Panda Express. I have no idea what he works for. No idea. But he's a cool guy. He's the guy I was telling you reminds me of Dom, our friend from back home.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, short little Mexican guy, stoner. He's super funny.
Dom.
He's Dom. That's all he is. I'll get Dom on the podcast eventually. That'll be a hell of an interview. I'll make sure he's zooted for that too. I'm gonna make sure he's zooted.
Just start asking questions.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, listen, I'm gonna ask you 58 questions, and you're gonna answer them all, and they're gonna be like the weirdest questions, and he's gonna give me the weirdest answers, and that'll be the entire podcast. That'll be it. That'll be the entire podcast. But
I think that would go well.
Enough about life. Let's get into some sports now. This is all I want to talk about all day, every day. And I know you're a big sports guy. You played basketball in high school. You played lacrosse in high school. Had you on my radio show at Wide Left. We talked about that a little bit too.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
That was just a year ago, wasn't it?
No. It wasn't. It was in the spring, not the fall.
I mean, 9 months.
Yeah.
Give or take there.
Yeah, definitely could have had a baby by the time you were on it last.
Yeah, it'd be coming out.
It'd be a fresh baby, I'd say. But yeah, let's get into some football. Football for sure. First off, I want to start a new segment on the FIO podcast. It's going to be the Figure It Out player or person of the week. And for sure, the first episode would have been Kirk Cousins being the Figure It Out. And I would say the last 2 weeks, he has figured it out. We will get into him later into this show when we get into the matchups. For sure, my Figure It Out person of the week is going to be Zach Brown, the former Philadelphia Eagles linebacker that called out Kirk Cousins, saying that he is the weakest link of our offense and then puts on a 4-touchdown, 333-yard performance against his defense, where Zach Brown only attributed to 1 tackle in the game, and he played over 68% of the game. He only had 1 tackle. You can do that falling down on it and get a credit for that. So good job to you, Zach Brown. Yeah, we can trash him all day, but when someone gets your ass whooped, it's just so stupid because he trashes Kirk Cousins all day, and then they ask him about it after, and he's like, I don't want to talk about it. I would have respected the hell out of him, and he said, you know what, he had me. Because everyone in Minnesota agreed at that statement that Kirk Cousins was the weakest link of our offense, and I would still say he is. Maybe our offensive line, You know, he's had a few good games, but it's only because
That's 2 in a row.
It's only because our offensive weapons are so good. You know, Dalvin Cook, Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen. We have too much talent. It's hard for you to be better than that, and so that's not necessarily a wrong statement, but it's more like the state of Minnesota views Kirk Cousins as our little brother. You know this. You have a little brother, so maybe, but you might not be able to relate to this. So we view him as our little brother, where we can talk shit about him all we want, but when someone else does it, it's like, fuck that. You ain't talking shit about my little brother. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I feel like that's a perfect analogy.
That works.
That's just what it is. And so Zach Brown is my figure it out person of the week. I say person because he's not a player anymore. He is unemployed as of right now. Hopefully he stays that way.
Emphasize that point.
Unemployed.
Jobless.
Yeah, jobless for sure. Maybe that'll be the title of this video. Jobless. But then people will think they're referring to me, and I'm going to put all my money and time into podcasting. And that's just not happening.
What would you be doing if you didn't have a job right now?
If I wasn't a zookeeper,
Yeah.
what would I like if I got fired? What would my first thing to do?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I don't know. Find like the hypest bar, or become a drug dealer. I guess one of the two, and just be a bartender / drug dealer. Be the only way I can make it out here in this crazy world. Or I just pack it up and go home and then never pay the rest of my lease and just be a ward of the state.
Yeah, both those sound pretty good.
I'll just come live with you. Just drive straight to Austin. No big deal.
Straight to my cube.
Straight to the cube. I'll sleep under your feet. I'll be like a dog.
I'll give you a month.
Just 1 month.
That's it.
Next headline I have here is Lions-Packers Monday Night Football. The refs blow it big time. 2 blatant hands to the face that were clearly to the shoulder pads. Everyone was weighing in on this. You know it's bad when Barry Sanders tweets about it. Legendary running back, and he can tweet about anything going on in Detroit. So refs are a close second for the FIO person of the game. They need to figure it out for sure. I will say Aaron Rodgers did look spectacular. You know, the Lions had their chances. Receivers dropped a lot of passes for Aaron. That seems to be the theme. You know, Devontae Adams out, and he still finds a way to win. I would say the NFC North is the toughest division in football, hands down.
Hands down.
I agree. Hands down. Hands to the face.
See, and I don't have enough
knowledge
that I'm keeping up with right now. But what I heard, someone else referred to the NFC West as the strongest.
Now,
that's
the NFC West.
Comparison. That's the only other one I've heard.
The NFC West. I said this in my last episode that they're super tough as well. But they got the Cardinals. So the Cardinals are kind of a tanking team. They got talent. They got future talent. You know, they got Larry Legend. Hopefully he comes to Minnesota by the deadline. Kyler Murray's obviously spectacular talent, even though he's 5'3". They got Christian Kirk. They got David Johnson. You know, they got the pieces, I would say. They got to figure it out on defense, but they're still just like the trash team in the division. Our trash team for years was the Bears and the Lions, but now look at them. Like, the Bears are a top 3 defense. The Lions are coming out of nowhere this year, competing in every game, almost beating the Chiefs. You know, could have beat the Packers. I would say the NFC North is the toughest division. The NFC West is tough, though. They got the Seahawks, the Rams, the 49ers, which are unbelievable this year, and obviously the Cardinals. The Rams are kind of shit in the bed right now. Seahawks are amazing. 49ers are amazing. So I'd say only 2 out of the 4 of those teams are legit. I think the Rams have potential to get back on track as long as Jared Goff figures it out, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I think everyone's playing at their highest level in the NFC North right now. I think everyone can win any game right now. That's just how it goes.
Interesting matchup with the Lions. There'll be some more movement, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. That'll be a huge game. And as you know, we went to the Lions-Vikings game last year on my birthday, right. And the Vikings had 10 sacks, breaking a Vikings game record for that. So that was a fun game to watch.
I didn't even know that. I just remember being way too tossed to actually appreciate the game.
Yeah, we were moving around a little bit. I didn't know how. I knew they were, because they kept saying it on the jumbotron. They're like, "Oh, there's 8 sacks," and then there was.
It felt like they dominated defensively. But
No, yeah, for sure. And they had their 9th sack, and then 9 and 10 came back to back. So like 9th, and it said only need one more to break the record, and then literally 10 seconds later, Danielle Hunter sacks Matt Stafford for a loss, and that was the 10th sack, and it was sick. So
beautiful.
Next headline: RAMsey to the Rams for 2 first rounds and a 4th. Do you think that's too much, in your opinion? Too much for Jalen Ramsey?
I think the Rams they've always been that's been their new mentality is selling out and trying to win immediately. And if that's, it's too early to tell, but if that's what they deem to be the best method to making that happen, I don't see any like they shouldn't hold on to draft picks if they're just trying to win right now.
Yeah, they love their old farts that like to get it done, for sure.
Farts. Isn't Ramsey like 25?
No, I know, but I'm saying they have, they got like Eric Weddle, they got Ndamukong Suh for it last year, they had him. They got Clay Matthews this year now. They just like getting the old guys that were really good to try, and they get them for cheap. But then they overpay for Jared Goff. I think they're giving up too much for Ramsey right now. I would say Ramsey's probably a top 5 corner in the league right now. I'd still take Xavier Rhodes over him any day. Definitely an upgrade from Marcus Peters. God damn, he's trash. I hate Marcus Peters. He had that one good year with the Chiefs, got paid, and then that was it. But now Marcus Peters is to the Ravens, so dump the trash and bring in the cash, baby. That's Jalen Ramsey. But that's 2 first-round picks. I mean, I think for sure the Jags won that trade, so the Jags can get a lot of good picks, and that's the name of the game. And I know the Vikings were interested in him, but I'm so glad we didn't get him, because if we had to give up 2 firsts, I would have been so mad. Unless we won the Super Bowl, then I wouldn't be pissed. But our problem isn't defensively. Our defense is fine. We have a top 5 defense, but Jalen.
Well, it looks like the offense is clicking a little bit too.
It's clicking, but it's also going. The Giants' secondary sucks and the Eagles' secondary sucks. So
they got to be more reliable, but at least they're smoothing it out.
Just getting that rhythm. The Lions' defense isn't good either, so won't be that much of a task for them. They have a good shutdown corner, but we have 2 top receivers. So, Speaking of top receivers, we'll get into Stephon Diggs. I think you're living on another planet if you don't think he's a top 10 receiver in this league right now. He's unbelievable. Three touchdowns last week, 167 yards on 7 catches. That's Randy Moss numbers right there, and it's just. And I've always been a big Adam Thielen guy. Adam Thielen's. I would take Adam Thielen over Diggs still probably right now, but it's so hard because Diggs is so talented, man. It's like he's just got that edge. He's got that next level. He's got that like OBJ kind of thing to him. Even though I hate OBJ, he's just
that over the head catch.
He's just ridiculous, man.
That was pretty good.
Like Thielen is just sound. Thielen's got the route running. He'll catch every ball you throw to him, but he just doesn't have that kind of like big play factor that Diggs does. And I hate saying that because Thielen's made some huge plays, but it's like it's just Diggs is just
different caliber.
They're just 2 different receivers, but they complement each other so well. Not one of them can be. I mean, I believe they could both be number 1 wide receivers, but they're definitely not putting up numbers that they would be without each other, because they need, like, you double cover Thielen, good job. Now you're 1-on-1 with Diggs. You want to double cover both of them, we'll run it up the middle with Dalvin Cook. It's just that easy. Like,
sure.
And that's. I don't want to make this a Vikings podcast, but goddamn, we're just doing so good right now.
Already, dude. Might as well.
4-2. Let's keep it with Cousins though. As we know, Jared Goff in the offseason got paid big time, $100 million contract, and he put up 78 yards against the 49ers' dominant defense. But still, 78 yards, Trey, me and you can go out there and dump off some passes to the running backs and get more than 78 yards. Can we not?
We very well could.
So
right. we certainly did in fantasy football days back when.
Exactly, and it's stupid because
flag football,
yeah, not fantasy. But it's stupid because everyone gives shit to Cousins because he signed $84 million guaranteed. Is he worth that? No. Does he know he's not worth that? Hell yes, he knows he's not worth that. But are you really going to blame the man for taking that? No. It's not like he's like, oh, I can't take that. I'm not worth that. No.
It's a marketing thing, and they gotta do what they gotta do.
And people don't know that he denied a $100 million contract to the Jets, so he actually did take a paid cut. If you think about it. Jared Goff getting paid $100 million.
For the better team there.
Jared Goff getting paid $100 million. Who's really the most overrated is what I want to know. I would say right now it's Jared Goff. I would take Kirk Cousins over Jared Goff right now. I would take Mitchell Trubisky over Jared Goff right now. I'm sorry. I would. There's a lot of quarterbacks I'd take over Goff. A lot.
Goff's gotten the furthest to the Super Bowl of the three that you just mentioned there.
Yes, but how many touchdowns did he score in the Super Bowl? How many? 0. Did you say 11?
No, I was gonna say something, but it didn't make sense.
No, he was garbage in the Super Bowl, and he's just not good. He's not the one that took him to the Super Bowl. Their defense took him to the Super Bowl, and Todd Gurley took him to the Super Bowl.
He played lights out last year.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw some games, especially against the Vikings, dude. That was one of his best games ever.
He put up 38 points, and we put up 31. You know, it was a shootout, and we lost it. And I'm not too mad about that. If we lose to a shootout, that's fine. That means we're in the game. If we get blown out 38-7 like we did to the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, that's when I get a little pissed.
But I remember being in awe for 2 of his passes. This is
balls.
One of the only games I've seen in a while, but I was like, wow. Like, he put it on a dime while rolling out, and Cousins could probably done the same thing 4 times. But I saw this one live, and I remember being pretty impressed. So that's my lasting impression of Mr. Goff there. But
that was your lasting impression, a Week 6 game from last year?
Is it sad or impressive that you remember the week?
I don't think it was actually Week 6. I think it was definitely before the Lions game, and the Lions game was Week 9 or 8? 8. Yeah, Week 8. So, I don't know there.
No, they're both in the running, but I think you got to give it a couple more weeks before you really pick one of them out. Cousins was, and now it's passed on to Goff because he's the latest
dud. But he's been trash all year. I've had him as my fantasy quarterback in my other league, and I haven't noticed how bad he's been because the rest of my team just balls out. So it just. But now I lost because of him, and now it's like, okay, I'm sick of you. So I'm riding on Josh Allen now for both my leagues. So
very fair.
I mean, he's playing Miami. There's got to be a way. You know?
They should blow them out. It won't even.
If he gives me 3 touchdowns, I'm good. That's all I want. 3 tutties. And I got to beat Jack. I got to beat him. This is this is my Super Bowl. Like, that's all I care about. I care about finishing top 3 to get some money, and I care about beating Jack.
Yes, there's not much more satisfying than taking down Jack.
Especially since he put it in the group chat.
Yeah.
For y'all that don't know, Jack is a friend.
It's a call out.
Yeah, for sure. For y'all that don't know, Jack is a friend of ours from back home who claims to be a fantasy football wizard, won a couple times. Thinks he knows more than he does. But yeah.
He's been out of the
loop.
The playoffs for the last 4 years.
Yeah, so I swept him last year, and that was my Super Bowl. So that's all. Beat him 3 times. 3 times.
He still carries that 2-time winner swagger.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I mean, in all fairness, I would too, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dom does too. Dom's letting it get to his head a little bit. I hope he doesn't win this year. I don't need to hear it from him.
But he's doing a lot of winning right now. I think he's on a pretty hot streak there.
He's 5-1, so yeah, he's doing pretty good. Some more headlines here. Brock Osweiler recently retired. He retired a very rich man, making a little over $48 million in his career. And I believe he had a losing record and more interceptions than touchdowns. just a all-time finesse, and just want to give him a little round of applause.
Yeah.
That's just great. And I mean, you can argue Kirk Cousins is doing the same thing.
He had a great agent. Give him that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Everyone needs to go get Brock Osweiler's agent because the man straight robbed Houston before the flood hit them. So that was 2 big blows to them in a matter of months. So that was
Speaking of Houston, did you just read Deshaun Watson's story?
like his life story.
Yeah, Bleacher Report came out with an article and interviewed him and kind of got the behind-the-scenes look at him, and I've got a very good appreciation for him. And
They did the same thing with DeAndre Hopkins, too. They did a little behind-the-scene thing.
Okay.
But
Watson's, he's my fantasy quarterback, and I've always thought of him as a great football mind and just kind of like understanding the game beyond the normal X's and O's, and this interview just kind of reinforces that, which it was very cool to read. I recommend it if you got some
yeah,
time.
I'll have to, I respect Deshaun Watson. He beat Nick Saban, plenty of times, so that's always great. He's got my respect for that Clemson quarterback. I don't like how Dabo Swinney was saying that Trevor Lawrence is everything but more. I think Deshaun Watson's twice the quarterback that Trevor Lawrence is right now. I mean, I'd rather have Deshaun over Trevor Lawrence. Maybe I'm not seeing something, but that's just my opinion. I'd take Deshaun over him any day, wouldn't you?
Trevor's got some growing up to do. He's undefeated right now.
No,
there's something to be said for that.
He hasn't lost. They haven't lost a game yet this year.
No,
Oh,
he hasn't
shit.
lost a game ever. It's almost 2 years.
But he's regressed, and they play shitty competition, don't they?
He's regressed.
That's
It's the ACC, so it is what it is. But they beat some quality teams. They whooped on. They beat Alabama last year, and they beat Ohio State. Was it?
yeah.
So he's got it, man. And Dabo knows how to turn it on and coach them. It's not even a question in my mind.
I mean,
And Lawrence is probably going to stay for another year. Is my guess.
he has to. He can't come out this year. He's a sophomore. You have to stay.
I thought it was 2 years.
No, you have to stay 3 years for football, junior year.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's Tua. It's the Tua season, baby. Tanking for Tua. He'll be the Dolphins quarterback next year. I'm predicting it now.
You think he'll be the Heisman?
They'll probably give it to Jalen Hurts just for the clout. Just for the clout. Just for 3 straight Oklahoma quarterbacks.
Dude, have you seen him play this year? It's unbelievable watching him.
He is unbelievable to watch. I like that running back though. God, what's his name? From Oregon, I think. Oregon running back. I want to say.
I'm not sure.
Josh Taylor.
Jordan Taylor.
Jordan Taylor. He's a running back.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. He's good. He's underrated. I like him a lot. And I like
Heisman.
Well, underrated in the Heisman voting, I'm saying. Tim Tebow voted for that Furrow guy, the LSU quarterback or whatever.
Yeah, well, he's played lights out, and he's won the biggest games of the year so far.
He's because Stephen A. asked him. He goes, "Who's your Heisman winner right now?" And he said Furrow, and they're all calling him crazy. And he's like, "You said right now. Do I think he'll win it in the second week of December? No, but he's beating some big time people right now, and he's not just beating them barely. He's performing at the highest level. So
absolutely, but in terms of stats, yeah, we'll see. Jalen Hurts did pretty well against Texas last week. And
how's Tennessee doing this year?
It's a warm topic.
It's a rebuilding year again.
Well, yeah, we're rebuilding, and I love Pruitt. I'll say it over and over again. The man knows how to coach. But they're playing Alabama tomorrow, and that'll be fun. It's his first time back in Tuscaloosa since leaving 2 years ago. So it'll be a cool moment for him.
Whoa, copyright issues. Can't be playing it. Copyright issues. You know what was going on, though. We ain't going to get Trey too excited right now. He'll get a boner. We don't need to. I will say those are the best times in my college days, going to the football games, Tennessee football games. I love Rocky Top. I love all the boys out there. And I will always have room in my heart for the Vols, always and forever. Hope you know that, Trey. Didn't mean to get so deep there.
No, it takes it out of you, man. It's a special connection.
It's gorgeous there too, man. You said you wanted to move back.
I'm really missing it this time of the year.
Yeah, cold as shit and just missing freezing your ass off. Me too.
It's nice. It's kind of the 50s, 60s. Get a light jacket.
I mean,
change of colors.
Kentucky was the same way. I liked it until the leaves started falling off the trees, and then all the mountains were bare, and it just looked depressing.
Yeah. When
it's cold and cloudy and rainy, and you hate your life, and then you like have to study all the time, and you know, it's just not fun. So it's just not fun to be around. I'd rather, like, right now in El Paso is so gorgeous. I don't know what it is in Austin right now, but it's like in the 70s right now during the day. It's so nice. I don't even sweat.
Evenings are very nice.
I don't even sweat anymore at work, like hardly. And I'm outside all day, and I don't sweat because it's just so nice.
The fall and the spring in Austin and in Texas in general, from what I can tell, it's hard to beat, man. And you're gonna get you got some nice mountain views. And just,
oh my God, everywhere. Mountains everywhere. I know you got to see it when you moved me in, but it's just like I haven't gotten over it. Every day I wake up and I see that, and I'm just like, God, that's so gorgeous, and I can't wait to go hiking in it. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah. But pick a day, just do it.
I know, but I mean, there's like big groups from the zoo that go like here and there, so I'll get there eventually. Trey, let me ask you something. Would you say the Texans are a better football team than the Vikings right now?
They beat better teams, so yes, I'll say that.
Would you put them over by a lot?
No, probably not.
Okay, yeah, I mean, in most power rankings,
I'm biased towards the quarterback.
Yeah, of course.
Watson's performing at a high level right now.
But I'd take the Vikings defense over Houston's. I think Deshaun would have a rough day. I think it'd be tough for him to have a good day.
It'd be a great matchup.
Yeah, for sure. I got a friend named Peyton, and he's a huge Texans fan, and he just keeps giving me shit. I don't know why. He like tagged me in a bunch of shit on Instagram on how the power rankings, like the Texans are always like one above the Vikings. I'm like, good job, man. Like, or he's like, why aren't you guys leading your division? We are. I'm like, y'all are 4-2, so are we. Like, we would be tied for the division lead right now. Like,
yeah.
Sorry, you guys playing the fucking AFC. What are they? AFC South.
Yeah.
AFC South. What is that? The Colts, the Jags, and
Titans.
The Titans. Good job, bro. Like, the Colts beat the Chiefs. That's a fluke. They're still trash. Titans are up and down. They're trash. They're starting Ryan Tannehill. That's an L. He got cut from Miami, if that says anything. And then the Jags. Gardner Minshew's a beast, but come on, it's still the Jags. They got rid of RAMsey, so their defense is going to be garbo for sure. Call me in a few years. I think they should get rid of Nick Foles and stick with Minshew magic.
Yeah, I mean, they're making, just from a marketing standpoint, they are raking it in off of him and just getting the hype.
I mean, it makes sense, though, because it's like if you think about it, it's like the Nick Foles effect, because now Nick Foles wasn't as popular as Minshew magic, obviously, but I'm saying, like, a guy stepping in for an injured quarterback, balling out.
No one had ever heard of.
Yeah. I mean, people have heard of Nick Foles, but in a negative way. People never heard of Gardner Minshew. So it's just ironic, in my opinion. I think that's kind of funny to think of that.
That's the way the NFL works, man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just loving that the Cowboys lost 3 straight. It's always good when the Cowboys lose. I'd still rather see the Patriots lose.
It just feels right watching them go down.
You know, Jason Garrett might get fired. I think they're saying Lincoln Riley might be the next best fit for the Cowboys. Jerry Jones, Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma's quarterback, or Oklahoma's coach.
Wow.
Coaching 3 straight Heismans. You know, I think he fit more Dak's style, you know, a more athletic quarterback. I think Jason Garrett's the all-time best clapper in the NFL, though. And he's clapping on the sidelines, cheering on his team the most, but not doing a lot of the actual coaching part of it. What are you doing? You running a marathon right now?
I am driving to the bar.
We are catching Trey at the end of this little phone call here. Are you going to be able to do your picks right now for the NFL for the Week 7?
I'm ready. You call out the games, I will give you my pick. I also I have a question to pose for you on which matchup you think is the most interesting matchup of the week.
Okay.
I have mine, but I'm interested to hear yours.
Oh yeah, well, here at the FIO podcast, we do a game of the week and we do an upset of the week. So, pick your game of the week. So that that basically answers your question. You can have a game of the week. You can have an upset of the week. So, all right, first game. Obviously, we should be talking about the Chiefs game. Real quick, we'll talk about it. The Chiefs blew out the. Oh God, why am I blanking right now? The Broncos. Broncos are trash. Joe Flacco's trash. He's not elite. He's never elite. Out for 3 weeks. That means the Vikings hopefully will have an easy win week 9. I would love for him to come back because it'll look a lot better on our resume if we beat him and not just Matt Moore, the real Matty Ice. But yeah, I would have picked the Chiefs big time over that for sure. But first game, Raiders at Packers.
Oh, I've got the Packers easily. At home in Lambeau.
In Lambeau, it's getting a little chilly.
Yeah, that nip in the air. That's Rodgers. Rodgers feels that, feeds off of it.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I'm going Packers for sure. And I'll put a little T by your pick. Rams at Falcons.
I wouldn't call this an upset, but I've got the Falcons there. I think that it's gonna be an offensive game for both teams.
Yeah,
and Goff's gonna get back into it, but I've got Matty Ice and Julio Jones connecting for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, in Atlanta, I'm going with the Rams. I don't think they continue to lose. I think that Goff's going to figure it out this week on a very weak secondary. Cooper Kupp's going to have a monster game. Brandon Cooks is going to finally find his footing and get in the end zone a couple times. I think this is going to be it's going to be no defense will be played during this game. I'm not sure if Jalen Ramsey is going to play. If he plays, then that'll be different for sure. Next game, 49ers at Redskins. Is this your upset of the week?
Now that you're saying it, I hadn't predetermined this, but I'll go ahead and I'll go out on a limb.
Are you fucking kidding me? All right, you're going with the Skins.
I'm going to Skins, and I'm going Balls tomorrow as well. So I'm rolling upsets here.
Do you even know who the Redskins quarterback is right now?
It's not RG3.
No, I think it's Colt McCoy, honestly.
No, he got hurt.
Oh, then it's back to either Haskins or Keenum.
And Haskins got hurt. I think it's Keenum.
It's Keenum. Texans at Colts.
Got the Texans in that one. It'll be a very close game, but I think that they'd grind it out.
I'm going Colts all the way. I think Jacoby Brissett is playing at a very high level. I wouldn't say this is my upset of the week. It would definitely be an upset. But just because Peyton, you're a bitch, this is for sure Colts victory at home in Lucas Oil Stadium. I think it's going to be a blowout. The Colts are going to win.
All right.
Vikings at Lions. This is not my game of the week, but obviously I'm picking the Vikings here. I won't get too much into it. I think Kirk Cousins is going to continue to have a great game. I think Dalvin Cook gets at least 2 touchdowns. Xavier Rhodes gets an interception. What say you?
If I'm picking an NFL team to root for, I'm rooting for the Vikings.
Yeah.
However, I think the Lions are going to pull some out of their butt. They've been close. They've been close on a few weeks, and I think they're going to pull it out this week. The Vikings are going to have a wake up call, and they'll be putting Zimmer back on the hot seat here.
On the hot seat. All right. Jags at Bengals.
Oh, two lousy teams, but I think the Jags are the better of the bad there.
Yeah, I'm going Jags for sure there too. Minshew magic. He's just going to continue to have that magic, and I think the Bengals are just an absolute dumpster fire, and I don't think they're going to be able to accomplish much in life.
Have they won a game this year?
They have not. Them and the Dolphins and the Redskins won a game.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's just them two left that don't have a win. Though I think the Bengals will get a win. This won't be it. But it'll for sure be the Dolphins aren't going to win a game this year. That's just
I think it's amazing that Andy Dalton still has a job.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
that.
He won't after this year. They'll draft a quarterback. He'll be the backup. That's just what's going to happen. Cardinals at Giants. Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, two rookie quarterbacks. Yeah.
I've got Saquon's back in action. I think I'll take the Cards in this one. I think Kyler's starting to get the wheels under him a little bit.
Why do you talk so greatly about the one team and then pick against them? I don't get it. Like, Saquon's back. They got everything. But yeah, I'm going with the Cardinals.
I'm setting you up so you don't know which way I'm going.
Yeah, I'm going Saquon and the Giants. I think Daniel Jones is going to have a field day having Saquon back. I do think they'll limit his reps, but he'll get the goal line touches. They'll get him going early, get him a feel for it. It's going to be tough to keep him off the field because he loves football so much. And yeah, his quads are just going to lead everybody to victory. Dolphins at Bills.
Bills in a landslide. I think the Bills defense will score a couple touchdowns.
Yep.
And Frank Gore might get some pay dirt as well.
Yeah, I can't stand it. So I'm going Bills. I can't pick the Dolphins after I'm saying that they're not going to win a game all year. Next, Chargers at Titans.
I've got the Chargers here. It's an easy choice.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen's a baller.
Yeah, Keenan Allen's obviously elite. I think he's had some tough breaks as of late, but I think he's going to get back on track this game for sure. I was going to go with the Titans here because their defense is pretty good. Phillip Rivers has been struggling. The Chargers have been struggling, but after seeing Mason Ramsey's tweet about giddy up, giddy out of my way, and he's singing at the halftime show, I have to go Chargers here. Chargers by a billion.
Yes.
Next, Ravens at Seahawks. That'll be that. This is my game of the week.
This is my game of the week as well.
Okay, then fuck you. I'm not going to pick this as my game of the week.
Well, you're getting more and more limited, but I'm taking the Ravens here. I think Lamar Jackson and their scheme's the real deal.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Ravens are legit, but so let me get this straight. You're taking the Ravens over the Seahawks. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Was not expecting that, if I'm being honest. Russell Wilson is my MVP candidate this year, so I'm kind of surprised that actually Christian McCaffrey is my MVP. Russell Wilson, I think, will end up winning it, but I hope CMC for MVP really catches fire. But Russell Wilson, hasn't thrown an interception yet this year, breaking records left and right, banging Ciara. He's got taking care of Future's kid. I think he's, he says go Hawks every 10 seconds, just like I say, figure it out. I don't know how you go the Ravens over Seahawks here, especially at home, the 12th man. I think you be smoking meth to be thinking the Ravens are going to win this game. Seahawks by a billion.
Sober as a gopher, but I take the Ravens here.
The next is my game of the week, Saints at Bears. I think it's this is going to be huge. Battle of the elite quarterbacks. Mitch Trubisky, Teddy Bridgewater. Who else wouldn't want to see that matchup?
I've got Teddy Two Gloves here.
Teddy Two Gloves. I hope that he beats the Bears. I have to be biased here. Actually, I'm going to be unbiased, and I'm picking the Bears to win this game. I think their defense is too good. I think Teddy runs into a brick wall here. Michael Thomas is elite, but I think he's going to meet his match. The Bears' defense is just something else. They play collectively. Khalil Mack leading the charge. I believe the Bears are going to take this win, even though I'm really hoping I'm wrong here and the Saints win. Next, Eagles at Cowboys. The game that nobody gives a shit about.
I've got the Eagles. I like Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I think he's playing at a really high level. I think his receivers are dropping a lot of balls. Felt bad for him in the game. At the same time, I didn't in the last game. Yeah, I gotta go Eagles here. I think they're gonna get it back on track. I think this decides the winner of the who's in power of the division. So this is a huge game. So yeah, definitely going Eagles here. We're going to agree on that one. And last but not least, Patriots at Jets. Can the Jets pull another comeback out of their ass? Or not a comeback, an upset out of their ass?
It's not going to be this game. Brady's dominant. There's no
Belichick's got it together. He's not going to blow it here against the Jets of all teams.
This is my upset of the week. I'm going with the Jets. I think that they can do this on Monday Night Football in MetLife Stadium. Sam Darnold playing with mono, playing like lights out. I think he was in a lot of games last year. I think Brady isn't as good as Sam Darnold. I think Belichick is out of his prime, and I'm talking out of my ass because the Patriots are obviously elite, and they'll probably win this game. But this is my upset of the week because I have to pick one.
Why not?
I have to pick one. I was unprepared, and I'm going with the Jets of all things. So I have to go with that one. But
love to hear it.
I'm on 1%. You're at the bar. Thank you so much for joining me, Trey.
Hey, man. I love talking with you. It's good catching up with you. And great that you're still continuing this on. And we talked about this for so long that we should just be recorded more often, and this is our opportunity. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. You will be back on the show for sure. Don't worry.
I look forward to it.
Hey, thanks, man. Have a good time out. I'll talk to you later.
Love you, brother.
Love you too, man. See you later.
Bye.
Love talking to him. Love being around the guy. Trey Suddeth, everybody. He was incredible to podcast with. We'll definitely get him back on sooner rather than later. Definitely to follow up with these picks. Some of these atrocious picks that he had, for sure. But, yeah, that's pretty much the episode here, man. That's a third episode in the books. A little quicker episode than usual. Don't really have any time slots for what I really want to do. Just a nice casual little conversational kind of podcast. Nothing too crazy, not trying too hard, not doing too much. Bare minimum shit here, man. Using a cheap old microphone and a cheap old stand and borrowing my sister's laptop. So shout out my sister for letting me borrow this laptop. And I will end with a quote that I saw the other day, and I stuck with me. I like it. It says, if you ain't going to do something about it, then don't complain about it. Think about that. Figure it out. Thank you all for listening.